Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone had a great day. Pretty good day. I mean, we'd had SoFi today, which paid about 120%. I could have held those a little bit longer. I know a couple of guys in the Discord grabbed, or held till the actual target. And props to you. I didn't want to go into FOMC with that, but I know those paid about 300%. So congrats on that. If you guys were part of the FOMC live session we had today, I went long and did really well. I ended up catching the initial fade off the data release where contracts literally perfectly halved, so they went 50% discount. I grabbed those and then risked our initial level, which I think was like 485. Right, we kind of knew that there was a big buyer sitting there. I ended up buying with them at 125 to 145, and then we ended up selling for I think 2.9, right, or 3.0, somewhere in that range. Really good trade. Unfortunate though that we didn't get over this 289, or I'm sorry, 489 high, the weekly high from last week. It just perfectly rejected there. But it was good because I wasn't expecting, to carry that full position. I just wanted to take profits after SoFi today. So I ended up trimming going into 489. I ended up, telling everyone I closed full, and it ended up rejecting here. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have just taken one contract short, but in the back of my mind, I thought this was going to push to 491, and I was looking to short here, guys. This was kind of the whole goal, was to short 491, and then obviously I was happy to have taken the call side as well, but it didn't work out that way, which is all good. But now what I'm expecting, and I'll kind of talk about this, right, is still facilitation towards the highs. But this is pretty much UTAD, right? And I've been talking about what we want to look for in terms of footprints from big money. We haven't really had the signs yet, right? We had this distribution phase that was going on here, and what we get is a last collection effort, right, where we have that UTAD and it ends up breaking the all-time high, and it's basically just getting people to buy into their orders, right? This is how it works, right? We'll end up getting one last little markup phase, and it's a facilitation of them and just basically dumping inventory in the last push. And what you really want to see is that footprint. And what is the footprint? It's a very, very large, expansive candle, right? Which we kind of checked the box today, especially considering all these candles that have been happening since the all-time high break, right? Which is this candle. We've had very, very tight ranges, right? Nothing really crazy in terms of, the spread on the candle, the volume on the candle. But now what we see is this very, very large candle followed by high volume. This is our first sign, guys, that this is going to distribute back into what I believe to be some of these lower bids where they're going to bid the market down incrementally. Does it mean that they're going to buy? Absolutely not, right? This could be a spoof where they end up moving the orders. But up here it gets very, very thin, right? I called this like a liquidity vacuum where it just gets very dry. And as the market starts to lose buyers, right, what's going to end up happening is them selling and simultaneously bidding the market down. You're going to have a big move, right? And that's exactly what we saw. That's exactly why the bearish moves can be so lucrative and so sought after, because it happens quickly, right? Hence the elevator down, stair step up mentality. That's what happens, especially with the mindset of people chasing the breakouts, chasing all-time highs. It's gonna feel stair steppy because they're selling to you guys. People just don't realize that. But yeah, anyways, first footprint, right? Expansive candle, right? Second footprint, we have high volume. Now, what I'm expecting here is probably a retest. I think it comes off 482.42. To be honest, there's a lot of money that's still sitting here that I think can give us this weak bid, right? So let's just imagine this is what it's going to look like. It bounces here. I think we can get one more push back to like 489 to 491, and then we're looking for something like this, right? Kind of a series of lower highs on the daily time frame. Of course, it might take a week or two for it to kind of show structurally on a weekly chart. But I do think that we're going to come right back down and really start to show face into this 476.5 zone. I can't give an exact number, right? I do know that we're going to probably test 480 here very, very soon, probably within like the next 4 days or so. Especially, I think if we get up here, right, to like 491, it's going to be a quick move down. I think they have pretty much all the inventory that they need to really sell this off in a dramatic fashion. It's probably going to be through the use of some kind of news catalyst, I would assume. It's not going to just happen just because. So I expect more news catalysts to be coming out here shortly. But yeah, 480 is my next target. And then from there, I'm looking for 476.5 and somewhere back into this range that was distributed, right? And then from there, I can just see us, we're going to be in a sell side structure. There's no way around it. And then from there, it's just fading the pops off previous support levels. You know, if we obviously break down further, I would expect us to maybe hit 476.5, retest 480, sell off again, come to the lower extreme of this range. I don't want to go too much into targets right now. I just want to let everybody know, you know, at least from my perspective, this is the sign. This is it. This is exactly what we're talking about. Imprint this into your brain. I know a lot of people have been trying short on these days here. I see it on Twitter, I see it in the Discord, and these aren't your signs, right? Look at the volume. There's no footprint. Volume is very, very scarce. You can feel it when you trade puts. You can just feel it in the market. Even calls should have felt weird here. Look at the spread on the candles, right? Everything just feels really tight, really compressed, almost bloated in a sense. And finally, you get a release in, you know, an expansion, like I said, of that pressure, and you see everything get sold at once, right? I'm sure they'll buy up one more time to try to redistribute this high again, right? Because there has to be a counterparty for a lot of these. And I'm sure a lot of willing buyers are eager to get in here and try to catch the knife, or maybe even trade another breakout. And that's kind of the goal behind this. So remember, the goal isn't necessarily to time the top. It's to find the footprint, find the retest of a previous support or a key level. You know, I'd want to see them sell off these highs one more time, and then obviously try to catch a retest off like 489 or something in this range, right? And then you can catch this big breakdown here. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got, guys. I'm going to be looking for ideally a bounce tomorrow. I'm going to be looking for a fade off of 491, right? Somewhere in this range, 491 to 489 flat. Right? Yeah, 489.12. We'll just, you know, actually use the cents on that. So somewhere in this range is a no trade zone for me in terms of, you know, calls. It's a no-brainer. No way I'm taking calls up here, so we'll make this like a nice little red color. And then from there, right, maybe calls off this 482.72 if it gives us an opportunity with a flat open. But yeah, for the most part, everything is sell structure for me now. Looking at the S&P, NASDAQ or QQQ is the same exact thing. But hopefully this helps, guys. If you guys need to go back through, I highly recommend. It's very simple, just a Google search. Go look up Wyckoff distribution. Right, this is what's called a UTAD. I'm sure it'll look a lot better on a monthly chart, but this whole section, like right here, right, and this whole area is what would be the UTAD, right? Distribution here, right? We got a UTAD, we break back into the range, and eventually we'll get that retest. But yeah, footprints are here, guys. This is exactly what I was saying. So we were patient, we got what we wanted. Now it's time to just be patient again and wait for our execution and our entries on these, and then look to get some time because this thing is going to be coming down. So appreciate you guys.